Hello YouTube and YouTube viewers, it is Cody Williams again, and this is the Balloon Artist Q&A, where you ask the balloon artist a question. Now you don't have to be a balloon artist to join this series, but typically this is going to be balloon artists asking questions about pricing, professionalism, how to handle certain situations, etc. So we made the intro video a few weeks ago. Now, sorry for the delay in uploading this, I was just kind of waiting for a chance to start filming some. So I got lots of questions, and I'm only answering questions in the comments of the videos, and I'm doing them in chronological order. We're going to do 5 questions per video. The beginning of each video is going to have a little list of the questions that are going to be answered, and I'll put a caption on one of the corners of the screen letting you know which question is being answered, so you can fast forward to questions you really care about, or etc. So for the first episode here, we're going to do 5 questions. Of course, every episode will be 5 questions. If some questions are very similar, and I'll do a 1A, a 1B, things like that. So, on to the first 5 questions of the Balloon Artist Q&A. Now, question 1 was asked by Wonder Girl Friday, and she asked, well, there's a comment and then a question. How do you deal with a truly obnoxious child or adult? I'm not talking about the kid who says, "Can I have a," when they've already had their turn. I'm talking about the adult who profanes, or the child who hurts the other kids or hits me. I have exited quickly, deciding that I do not work with bad behavior. It makes the good kids cry, that they've waited and haven't gotten a balloon, and it makes me sad. The bulk of my balloon work is donated for good causes because I live in a very small town, Cathy Miller, Key Largo. So that's really the hardest question I'm going to answer. We're opening the series up with this one because this is hard to deal with. That's why you asked, I'm sure. So I'm sure a lot of you get the "can I have a kid" who wants a balloon again, it's not his turn, and all you can really do is say, "I'm sorry, everyone gets one," or you have to wait in line again, or something like that. But it's not what you asked. She wants to know about the kid that's really obnoxious. So it really depends on the environment. I'm assuming this is, pertaining to line work scenario. I've had this happen in birthday party scenario as well, but if you have a really obnoxious kid that's hurting others in a party scenario, typically the parents are really nearby if they're not already in sight, and if they're not stopping on their own and you need to interject, you can ask the other children who that child's parent is and flag them down and ask for their assistance. And it's okay as a performer to get the help of the adult, because it's not your job to be the bad guy, it's your job to be the fun, outgoing, lovable entertainer. So if you have that obnoxious kid that's hitting others, you get a parent's help if you can. If for some reason you just can't get a parent, or you can't get the host of the party to come help you, because the host of the party can also take care of the child because they kind of are entrusted with the kid's behavior in a way because they're supervising them. But if you can't get a parent, can't get a supervisor, can't get anybody, for some reason, I do stop the performance. I will say, sorry, until you start behaving, no one can get a balloon. Sometimes the kid already has his balloon and he's starting to act up, and I tell him that I will take it away. And I don't bluff, I will take it away. So you just have to kind of break your character, and it stinks to do, and you got to, be a servant and be a parent. Usually get the parent to do that for you if you can. Now in a line scenario, when there's an obnoxious child, you tell them that I will not perform for you or not make you your balloon unless your parent is present, which is something I really do stick to. If I'm working for tips or working for a line or anything like that, I tell a child I won't make a balloon unless their parent is there. When I'm working for tips, it's because I won't get a tip if the parent's not there. If I'm charging, it's because I just don't want the obnoxious child, and also it's just good to, watch over yourself and make sure that the parents are around working with kids, just because of today's society. So that's dealing with the obnoxious child. You typically want to get the parent involved, if you can. If not, you have to be assertive. Stinks, sometimes you gotta do it. Now the worst is the profaning adult, because the obnoxious child came from an obnoxious adult. Every child is good by nature. Parents can change this. So I've never met a bad kid in my life, but I met a lot of bad parents. So when the adult is profaning, now this is typically 9 out of 10 at least a line scenario. So if an adult is profaning, they're upset, it's usually because they're in a hurry, they have to leave or something like that. But simple rule of thumb, always respond with kindness. Always be polite. When you're lovable and you're answered with sugar and sweetness, it's hard for someone to really be that angry at you. And if they are, bystanders are going to witness who is the aggressor, who is the innocent nice person. They're going to rally behind the niceness. So always respond to negativity with positivity. That's the best advice to take, and from there everything will usually kind of flow into place, but always be positive. Now if you have the adult profaning, If they run to the front of the line and there's, a 20, 30, 40-minute line or even more sometimes, you have to tell the parents that I'm really sorry, I wish I could. But there's people in front of you that are waiting just as long. Just because you're in a hurry and they're not, it's not quite fair to them. If you want to ask them if it's okay to cut ahead of them, by all means, I'm fine with this, but you need to speak to everyone in line and make sure that's okay. Typically, they're not going to do that because they know what the answer is normally going to be. If you're in a birthday party scenario and you have that parent that's pretty crazy, they're a little easier to handle because it's a smaller group and everyone knows each other, usually and hopefully. And say they have to leave early, you can say to the rest of the party, hey, is it okay if this person goes next because they need to go? And they usually are okay with it. If they're using profanity for other reasons, I mean, try not to provoke them to do this. And like I said, if you're doing professionalism and you're responding with politeness, it's never going to escalate that level. The only time it will, it's beyond your control, is their outside situation and their timeline. So for lines, that's what my only advice for that is, tell them to talk to the others. Otherwise, stick to your ground and always be polite, always be kind, because people will rally behind that and they'll take the right side. That is a really tough situation to be into. I hope that helps. That's how I handle it. It happens to me more often than not too. So, well, not more often than not, but it happens to me too. So, best thing to do is be polite, be professional at all times. Question number 2. This is an easy one. Squared715 asked me, what do I use to dye my hair? So questions don't have to always be balloon oriented, and this is an easy one to answer, and it's fast. I use Ion Brilliance from Sally's. I cut it once a month, bleach it, and dye it. I always bleach it first, and I stark white it, and I use Ion Brilliance Sky Blue. Same color, always. So that's how I dye my hair. And third question by Mo Million. How do you come up with new designs? Well, when I make a new design that I'm coming up with, instead I'm not just, learning from someone else, I pick one piece first. For example, the best example I can give is a Squidward design that I make. I didn't know how to make him yet, but I had this great idea for his tentacles, which is where I took 4 balloons, made loop twists on the ends of, I took 2 balloons, made loop twists on the ends of each 2, cut in the center, attached them, and made more loop twists. It's hard to describe, but I had that idea first, so I knew where to start with the tentacles. And I built up from there, and then gave him a quad body, arms, and then just made a face. Typically, when you're making a design, if you can come up with one part, go there first. I don't care if you have a hand idea, and all you can think of is how to make their hand. Make their hand, then start working from there. So you're gonna come up with a new design, think of what you can do, and go from there. If you have no idea whatsoever, go to Balloon Twister Central, Balloon.org, or any of these websites or forums on Facebook. If you're on a forum on Facebook, there is a search option on the right-hand side, or view to this side, and just type in the character you want to make. I'm sure someone's already posted it. If not, then make a post. But always search first. You don't have a lot of double, multiple posts in forums like that. Also go to balloon-animals.com/forum, and there's a huge list of tutorials and designs in there. And just because someone might not have the design you're looking for, think of a character that's similar and use that design and modify it the best you can. So coming up with new work, start with somewhere basic and work from there, or search online. Go to my YouTube channel, which you're hopefully on right now, and I have over 100 some tutorials, and hopefully from there you can mix and match some designs. Number 4, when doing line work, what is the best way to end your line? This was asked by Jeffrey Davis. So this is a common question. I was expecting this one to be asked when I first made the intro video. So for ending a line, everyone has their own technique and method. I personally have 646s in my apron, and what I do is say 15-20 minutes from the end, or however long I think that line is left, and say I'm looking at that line thinking this is going to take me 20 minutes to finish. I wait till 20 minutes till the end of my time, and it's late. 20 minutes till my time, and then I will blow up the end of line balloon. I'll draw end of line on it. I'll tell the person from the line, hang on 1 second, I need to cut off my line. They typically understand. I go to the end of the line, and if you can, time it so that you get, a larger male adult. They typically do the best at maintaining the line because they're more authoritative and more assertive. Typically, and this is not, a go-to, I've had mothers do the best. I've had little kids do great end of line work for me. But when in doubt, I try to get the biker-looking dad. He's my favorite sometimes. So I go to the end of the line, I give them this balloon and say, hey, you are the end of the line, do me a favor, you're the last ones, hold this balloon, and if anyone comes and asks, gets behind you, say, I'm sorry, this is the end of the line balloon, he told me, and just tell them I told you and I'm the bad guy, don't worry about it. And they're usually okay with this. and I tell them that in exchange for helping me out, I will make your child the biggest, coolest balloon. So whoever they get, I'll upgrade it, which basically means I'll use 350s instead of 260s for their design, or just make a better version if I know one. So that's how I end the line. Other people use signs. If they bring a sign, they hand it to the person in the line, but I'm all about being compact and self-contained, so I have just my apron and everything's on my body. So that's why I just take a balloon out and blow it up. If you have a sign or you have a table set up, it's good to have a sign too. It's nice that we're doing events to have volunteers. Volunteers are great because they will go cut off lines for you. Also, volunteers are great for obnoxious and profane parents too. Just so you know, back to question 1. Now, last question of the series, which is good because I'm almost out of time. I'm trying to keep these at about 10 minutes. Well, out of time, but my account only goes for 12. So, Balloon Sage asked me, bathroom breaks, question mark. I'm assuming he means how do you go about getting bathroom breaks? Interesting question, makes good sense to ask. So, for bathroom breaks, if you're doing a line scenario, it's okay to tell them, I'm sorry guys, time out, I will be right back in 5 minutes, I need to use the restroom. If you're doing an event for 8 hours or more, the line will see you for a long time, and they will know how long you've been standing there. And if you ask kindly and you tell them, they're gonna understand. Have some faith in humanity, they'll let you go. Birthday parties. It's not too awkward when you get there to say, may I use the restroom before I get started. I usually try to use the restroom somewhere before I go, a public restroom or something like that. But parties for birthdays are typically 2 hours. You should be able to hold it. If you can't, ask a parent to. Ask if they could escort you. It's recently I talked to a friend of mine, Todd, and he whenever he uses the restroom and he's in character, he has a parent stand guard by the door. That way no children, come in on accident, or there's never, miscommunication about, why is that guy gone for so long. You don't need to do that though, but it's a good idea. I got lucky one time doing a line event for 8 hours. My friend was there as a guest. He was a balloon artist. I said, hey Kevin, do me a favor, can you make balloons for 5 minutes while I run away real quick? That's rare to happen, but alright, my video's about to end. So, that's the first 5 questions. Have a great day today, better tomorrow. God bless you guys, have fun. Stay tuned for episode 2.